I'm Mariana Spiropoulos, President of the Board of Commissioners at the Water Reclamation District, and with me today are two of my colleagues, the Chairman of the Budget, Commissioner Carrie Steele, and our newest addition, Commissioner Ken Duncan. Thank you to Jackie Wargo, Fine Arts Department Chair, and Don Jackson, Music Director for the Homewood-Flossmoor Jazz Band, which just performed for us.
Yay!
The students did a great job, and thank you to Ken Nakamura on the saxophone, Manny Gonzalez on the guitar, and Sam Calhoun playing the bass, and the drummer Victor Olele. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Apologies if I did not. So let's give him another round of applause. And we are so pleased to see Rick Bryant from Congresswoman Robin Kelly's office and Homewood-Flossmoor High School Principal Dr. Jerry Lee Anderson and Superintendent Dr. Von Mansfield, whom we'll hear from in a bit later. And we're here to celebrate the completion of the $3.3 million Cherry Creek East Branch Flood Control Project. This was a cooperative effort between the MWRD, the Village of Flossmoor, and Homewood-Flossmoor High School District 233. Managing stormwater requires civil engineering and the vigilance of neighbors to ensure we take the best approach to address flooding. And we are proud to partner with the village and the high school to deliver this important infrastructure that will not only protect the school, but provide flood relief for 16 residential structures. We appreciate the hard work of the contractor, IHC, construction companies, and thank project manager Brad Ryan and Jeff Rausch and his crew for being here today. We'd also like to thank Chad Blackney from Jacobs, who also designed the project. And we are extremely grateful to Calvary Assembly of God Church lead pastor John Husbands, Mr. Spratt, Secretary of the Church Board, and the entire congregation for working with us to provide the necessary property needed to complete this important project. So thank you very much. No longer will motorists need to fear rainstorms when driving on Governor's Highway or Brammer Road, as these major thoroughfares should no longer flood like they have in the past. The domino effect will also result in increased values of neighborhood homes and ease homeowners from the burden of flooding and costly flood insurance. In fact, we are extremely pleased that FEMA has approved a floodplain map change effective October 26th, just 2 weeks from now, that removes 16 homes plus 6 additional parcels from the regulatory floodplain. And let's not forget the students. This project should provide students with a real-life education on the importance of engineering, STEM careers, and stormwater management. The components of this project include a 940-foot flood relief channel, increased culvert capacity under Governor's Highway, improved conveyance from the high school pond through a new 48-inch culvert, and channel improvements on the east branch of Cherry Creek. If I had keys to this project, I would now be handing them over to the mayor, as the village will now assume ownership and share the cost of future maintenance.
All right. Yay. Thank you for that.
So I'd like to introduce our Flossmoor Mayor Paul Brown. Mayor Brown has served as the Flossmoor Village Board since 2002 and became mayor in 2009. The mayor has been a resident of Flossmoor for over 30 years and graduated from Homewood-Flossmoor High School in a while ago. And he is and he's a real pioneer with the village. Welcome, Mayor.
Thank you, Mariana. Thank you so much for coming out here this afternoon. It's a beautiful day in Flossmoor. This is a project, and the village manager, Bridget Wachtel, reminded me that her daughter was pregnant when this project started, and she's now 7. So, you know, it really takes a village to get a project like this off the ground and completed. But here we are, 7 years later, with a really terrific stormwater improvement here, not only for Flossmoor, but also for the high school and for the 16 homeowners here that are going to enjoy the benefits of not only having better stormwater control, but alleviating them from having flood insurance. Those of us who know that have to have floodplain insurance know that that's an expensive proposition on an average of probably $1,000 to $2,000 per property. So add that up over decades here, and you can tell how important this project is, not only for the village and for the high school, but for the homeowners that are affected by it as well. So I have to say, on behalf of the Flossmoor Village Board, I want to recognize one of our trustees here. Trustee James Wilder, raise your hand. He's come out here to help us celebrate. Thank you, James. On behalf of the Village Board of Trustees, village staff who worked very hard. This was obviously a big project for all of us here today. So like I say, on behalf of the Village Board of Trustees, village staff, the 9,445 residents of Flossmoor, we really take our hats off to the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District for helping us with this project. You may not know, but MWRD is a very old institution here. They've been in since 1889, as I recall, and for over 128 years they've provided excellent stormwater services here for Cook County. And not only do they provide, wastewater treatment and stormwater protection, they're also very, very proactive when it comes to green environmental issues here. The district has a biosolids program that's very well known. They also have a composting program. So they're involved in much more than just basic stormwater and water treatment issues here. So we know our tax dollars are very well spent by this organization, and this is an example today here of what a great organization the district is. So on behalf of the village, the high school, the residents involved, thank you so much for investing in our community. We really, really appreciate it. Let's have a big round of applause for everybody that was involved with this project. Thanks again.
Thank you, Mayor. And now I'd like to welcome Homewood-Flossmoor High School District 233 Superintendent Dr. Von Mansfield. Under Mr. Mansfield's leadership, Homewood-Flossmoor High School has been recognized by the U.S. Department of Education as a 3-time National Blue Ribbon Award-winning high school. The school has been ranked annually as one of the most challenging high schools in America by the Washington Post, and prior to beginning his career in education, Dr. Mansfield played 5 years of professional football, including time spent with the Philadelphia Eagles, the Green Bay Packers, as a defensive back and a kick returner. Welcome, Dr. Mansfield.
Thank you. What a background.
Well, my remarks are going to be very short. I'd like to reiterate what the mayor said. This has been a cooperative opportunity for us to work together. MWRD, it's been absolutely phenomenal over the time that we've worked together. For us, it's probably more practical, and I think I'd like to thank our band, first of all, if you give them a round of applause again, and our instructors. And some of the hidden figures, way in the back, Tom Wagner, will you raise your hand? He's worked with, give him a round of applause. I'd like to thank Brad and Jeff with IHC. This was a seamless project for us. A lot of construction with the heavy machinery and all the things that could have happened in terms of interrupting the school and the educational process. That did not happen because of all the work that those gentlemen put in. So again, thank you so very much for the time spent. And for us, again, more practical. We have a pond on the backside of the school that you can't see, but you're welcome to take a detour and take a look at. And it was Tom Wagner, 2 o'clock in the morning, knocking on residents' doors saying the pond's going to flood, put everything up in the basement because the water's coming. So those were our realities, and unfortunately for the students, we will have school now, so we don't have a problem with them walking between buildings because they don't have to swim across the water that was once there. So again, a very cooperative effort, and MWRD and all the dignitaries, thank you so very much for helping us complete this project. And as the mayor said, for the residents who surround our property, they now get some relief from the flood insurance and some of the additional costs that were incurred with the flooding. So once again, thank you so very much, and do visit the school. We're right next door, and we look forward to having you. Thank you.
Thank you, Superintendent. And there's one more guest I'd like to invite to the microphone. This project could not have happened without the support of the Calvary Assembly of God Church and lead pastor John Husbands. We've been able to construct channel improvements on the Cherry Creek East Branch on property previously owned by the Calvary Assembly of God Church. So thank you, Pastor, and please join me at the podium.
Thank you very much, Mary Ann. It's a wonderful afternoon. I'm so thankful that we're doing this without rain. Amen. But good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and all the officials and dignitaries present. Thank you all for being here at this ribbon cutting ceremony. We're excited with the work that has been done on this project. The care, commitment, dedication of all involved was exceptional. The professionalism and the aptitude of those involved with the MWRD team in this project was really phenomenal, and we're thankful for the relationships that were formed. Like with many things, there are a few hiccups along the way, but we were able to get past them. From the purchase of the property and the schedules that followed to its completion, the open lines of communication and follow-up allowed a remarkable job in keeping our team here at the church in the loop with what was going on. The contact person that we had, Justin Kirk, and the team were available to answer any questions that my trustees and I might have had. And as the pastor here at the church and as a community leader, I truly appreciate their efforts and professionalism in completing the task. Thank you very much. This project, the beautification of the property and the enhanced look, I believe will be a great asset to the village of Flossmoor and our community. I would personally, along with my board, like to thank Mayor Braun, the village trustees of Flossmoor, Superintendent Mansfield, and the school board, as well as our community leaders, my church family here at Calvary, and my trustees, and those who helped make this project possible. Thank you for all the work that has been done, for your diligence in completing this project. I can't wait to see how it continues to enhance Flossmoor and the property for the neighbors and our church. Thank you.
Okay, now the moment we've all been waiting for. I'd like to invite everyone, our speakers, Principal Anderson, to join me in cutting the ceremonial ribbon.